you for joining today. We're going to be doing a 30-minute Hatha flow. Please go ahead and get your mat set up. Find a nice seated position on your mat to get started today. Option to bring your hands facing up or facing down if you would like to ground your energy. Finding a comfortable seat, legs crossed. From here, straighten your back, find a nice tall sitting position. An option to close your eyes or hold a gentle gaze in front of you as we practice some deep breathing in through our nose and out through our nose. As we continue this steady breathing, let's do a body scan. We'll start in our toes and our feet, trying to see if there are any sensations that we feel in that area of our body before working our way up through our legs, up through our hips and torsos, chests, backs, shoulders, arms and hands, and finally our neck and head. From here, drop your left ear to your left shoulder, and then come back up through center. Then drop your right ear to your right shoulder, coming up through center, and take that again to the left side, maintaining nice steady breathing as we come back up through center and back to the right side with our head. One more time. Left ear, left shoulder, come through center. Right ear, right shoulder, and come through center. Let's drop our chins to our chests, move up through a neutral position, and then tilt our heads towards the sky. You can take this as small or as large as you would like. Really depends on the range of motion that feels most comfortable for you today. Have that in mind as we begin some small circles, with our nose leading the way. Imagine you're tracing the outline of a small grape, and then work your way up to an orange size, and eventually to the size of a cantaloupe or watermelon. Enjoying some nice movement in your neck and shoulder area. Reverse your circles, moving to the left now, and then gradually lessen your circles, coming back to that small grape shape. Shoulders will rotate back, so pick them up and move them back. You're giving yourself a nice shoulder massage here, just really opening them up. And then reverse the circles, so bring your shoulders back, up, and forward. You should feel your scapula, your shoulder blades moving as you do these. Find a nice neutral position, and then option to bring your hands to your shoulders as we take some small shoulder rotations here with our arms outstretched. If that feels good to you, you can stretch your arms out all the way. We're just doing nice gentle rotations. Reverse rotations. And then again, option to bring your hands to your shoulders as we twist side to side. Moving to the right and through center, and to the left and through center. Finding whatever variation suits you best today. Let's twist to the left one more time, and then to the right on the exhale. Inhale, come back to seated position, nice neutral spine, and then we'll take some cat-cows here. So lifting our torsos up and then curving our back and head dropping down. Moving through that, looking up, bring your torso forward, and then exhale, bring your chin to chest, nice curved spine. Really enjoy this nice spinal warm-up here. We're also getting into our hips a little bit with this movement. In a nice neutral seated position, we're going to practice our 3-part breathing. So start by inhaling into your low belly and then into your mid chest right underneath the rib cage and then into your upper chest. You can bring your hand to each of those areas as you move through that inhale to help feel the sensation. And then we'll exhale a nice deep fluid exhale. Inhale, arms rise up overhead and we'll bend to the left. Inhale through center, bend to the right. Inhale up through center, exhale to the left, inhale through center, and exhale to the right. Inhale again through center, arms gently come down and find a nice stable position in front of you as you roll into a tabletop position. Try to find a nice neutral flat back here before moving into cat-cow. You want to check your alignment here to make sure that your knees are underneath your hips and your wrists are underneath your shoulders. As you move through the cat-cow sequence, try to maintain space between your shoulders and your ears. We oftentimes want to sink in. However, I encourage you to really pull your shoulders down and away from your ears to create nice space for your neck here. We're moving with our breath. Find a nice neutral position. Put your weight into your left hand and then rise your right arm up into the sky and then back down. Rise the left arm up into the sky, nice twist, and plant the hand back down. One more time, right arm reaches up to the sky. This time we're going to thread the needle. So bring that arm through the space between your left hand and your left leg. And then option to extend that arm all the way up to the top of the mat if that feels comfortable for a slightly deeper stretch. Or you can bring that arm back around to your right side of your hip for an even deeper stretch and bind. Breathe steadily here. To the best of your ability, try to make sure your hips are stacked over your knees. And then inhale, plant that left hand by your face and then twist up that right arm into the air and then plant it back down. Weight shifts to your right hand as you lift your left hand up and then thread the needle on the other side. Arm coming between the gap between your leg and arm on the right side. Option to extend your right arm towards the top of the mat for a slightly deeper stretch. Or option to bring that arm up and back around for a nice bind. Breathe deeply here. Every exhale should take you just a little bit deeper. When you're ready, we're going to inhale that arm back up to the sky and then plant your hand to your right side of your face and then twist that left arm up to the sky before finding a nice neutral tabletop position again. Let's take a cat-cow sequence here. Feeling a nice curve in our spine. Inhale to look up and exhale to look down. Nice, mindful, slow movements here. Working with the breath. Inhaling, we come up, and then exhale, find a nice neutral tabletop and lift into bear position, knees hovering off the ground. Option to give your toes a little massage here and rock back and forth, and then knees come down to the ground. We're going to do that 2 more times. So lift the knees, nice rocking back and forth with the feet, and then gently drop the knees. One more time, lift those knees, giving our toes a little massage here, warming up the core, and then drop the knees gently down. From here, you can untuck your toes, and then we'll sink into a child's pose position, hips pushing to the back as our spine lengthens out in front. Arms are stretched out towards the front of the mat, creating a nice long line there, and toes, big toes, are touching in the back. Let every exhale take you just a little bit deeper. And then we'll walk our hands to the left edge of the mat with the option to stack the right hand over the left hand to find a nice side stretch here. Breathing deeply. Walk your hands through the middle and bring them to the right edge of the mat. Again, option to have your left hand placed over your right hand for a slightly deeper side stretch here. Breathe deeply. Move your hands gently into the center of the mat, finding a regular child's pose. And then we're going to push ourselves back up into a nice tabletop position, this time moving our hands slightly in front of us and taking hip circles. So pushing back like we would do for a child's pose and then coming forward. Moving back, around the side, and forward. You can switch the directions if this feels good. If this is too much, you can take smaller circles or just take cat-cow in a regular tabletop position. Tuck those toes and prepare to come into a downward facing dog. Walk those feet out, bringing some movement into the legs. Noticing any tightness, just accepting it before we can take some little bends in the knees, bending down and coming up, down and coming up. Bend those knees, look forward and then straighten. Bend the knees and straighten. Then we'll inhale, walk feet to meet hands, top of the mat, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift, then come all the way up, arms rise up overhead on the inhale, and exhale, mountain pose, hands rest by your sides as we engage our whole body here. Inhale, arms rise up slowly overhead, and then exhale, moving through the flat back to a full forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift to a flat back. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, through the flat back, arms rise all the way up overhead. Exhale, full forward fold again. Bring your feet to the back edge of the mat, find a nice plank position, and then we'll move through chaturanga. Just lowering your bellies all the way to the ground, inhaling for a small back bend, baby cobra, and then pushing ourselves through our knees into downward facing dog. Inhale, walking it out, and exhale, let any tension go. Inhale, walk the feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, move through half back to a nice tall arms over the head, and then mountain pose. Inhale, arms overhead, move through flat back, full forward fold. Halfway lift, flat back, and full forward fold again. Bring those feet to the back of the mat. Let's move through chaturanga, either moving through your knees or finding your way to your belly. And then option to take a full upward facing dog or the baby cobra we did at the beginning, where your torso stays on the mat. Once you're in downward dog, inhale to walk your feet to meet your hands and rise halfway lift. Full forward fold, and then rise all the way up, hands overhead, and then find a nice mountain pose. Inhale, arms up overhead, chair pose. Exhale. Inhale, find prayer position with the hands, and then twist left. Inhale through center and twist right. Inhale through center, and then arms up overhead. Find a nice mountain pose. Inhale, arms up overhead, find chair. Knees should not be passing the toes. Prayer arms through half lift into full forward fold, and then half lift again before finding our way into a Chaturanga Dandasana. Nice upward facing dog here, and downward facing dog on the exhale. Inhale your right leg up into the air, knee to chest before foot plants between your hands. Inhale the warrior one, bringing your back foot to a 45-degree angle. And exhale, roll those arms back behind and then plant either side of that foot. Step back, find your downward facing dog, and then lift your left leg into the air. Knee to chest, plant that left foot, back foot 45-degree angle, rise into warrior one, circle those arms back around, and then plant on either side of your foot. Inhale that left leg back up into the air, and we'll take another Chaturanga Dandasana, belly to the mat, and then find your variation of a back bend before coming into a downward facing dog. Inhale, bring those feet to meet your hands, halfway lift, and exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, through flat back, arms up overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale through to chair pose, and find prayer position with your hands. We'll twist left, move through center, twist right, move through center, and then half lift into forward fold. Inhale the half lift again, and full forward fold. Bring your feet to the back edge of the mat, and we'll take another Chaturanga Dandasana. Find your back bend, and then exhale into downward facing dog. Bring that right leg into the air, knee to chest, and then warrior two position. So in this position, we have our back foot at a parallel position with the back edge of the mat. We walk our front leg and foot forward a little bit to get extra length and distance between our feet. Inhale, straighten those knees, and then exhale, find warrior two. Inhale, straighten the knees, arms rise up overhead, and exhale, find your warrior two arms. Inhale, rise up, and then find a reverse warrior. Right arm bending over your head. We'll now find an extended side angle, so bending that front knee, option to rest your right elbow on your knee or bring that hand all the way down to find a nice stretch in that left side body. Inhale through warrior two position. Straighten the knees, arms rise up overhead. And then from here, find your warrior two. Plant your hands on either side of the foot. Bring that leg back into the air and Chaturanga Dandasana. Find your back bend and find your downward facing dog on the exhale. Inhale, left leg rises, knee to chest, plant the foot, warrior two on your other side. Nice strong arms, check your alignment here. You want to be looking over your left fingers. Inhale, legs straighten, arms rise overhead. Exhale, find your warrior two. Inhale, arms rise, legs straighten, and exhale to warrior two. Inhale, straighten, and exhale on the reverse warrior, looking down or up at your hand, bending to the right. Inhale to warrior two position, and then find your side angle or extended side angle, bending all the way. Nice. Right arm over your head. Inhale to warrior two. Then legs straighten, arms come up overhead. Exhale to warrior two before your arms wrap around and your left leg rises as we do Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, feet to meet hands, top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale through flat back, arms rise up overhead, come to a nice straightened position, and then open up to the side. Our feet are at a 45-degree angle facing away from each other. We're going to move through a series of yoga and ballet postures. So our hands are going to come down and up through the mid part of our chest and then rise up into the air. We're just taking small little pliés here and then rising. Find prayer position with your hands and take a nice deep squat, and then we'll lift one heel at a time, testing our balance, our strength, and working our feet a little bit. Inhale, straighten those legs, arms rise up overhead. Exhale, flat back, and come all the way down. Bring those toes in so your toes are facing the long edge of the mat, parallel to each other, and then walk your hands to the left foot. Walk your hands to the right foot, feeling a nice stretch here in the backs of the legs, and then inhale through center and come to the left side again. Inhale through center and come to the right side. And then continue to walk your hands out and swivel your feet so that they're facing the top of the mat. We're finding pyramid position here, nice flat back, hands at our hips, and then inhale, rise the torso and the arms, and then hands return to hips and we'll halfway fold, nice flat back. Inhale, arms rise up overhead. Exhale, bring those arms and hands back to the hips, halfway fold, nice flat back. Then fold all the way over that front foot, that front leg, and swivel into your Skandasana. Nice bend in your right knee, left toes are flexed. You can find prayer position with your hands or open up for a slightly deeper stretch. And then inhale, back to prayer position, arms when you're ready. And then we'll push ourselves back up. Bring our hands now to the left foot, swivel both feet, and find our pyramid on the other side. Coming into a nice flat back position, hands on our hips before rising all the way up. Arms up overhead, and exhale, bring them back to hips. Halfway fold down, flat back, and then inhale, back up. Arms coming overhead, and then exhaling them back to your hips and finding a nice halfway fold, flat back again. One more time, rise up and then bring those arms up overhead and exhale them back to your hips, and then prepare to do a full forward fold over that front left leg. Sink into your Skandasana here. So you're bending that left knee, flexing the toes and extending that right leg. Hands can come to prayer, arms and hands, or you can open up for a nice twist in this hip opening position. Find your prayer hands again, and then we will push ourselves gently back up. Heel toe those feet in to a nice open stance. Toes out wide, halfway lift, and then forward fold. Halfway lift, and then rise all the way up, arms up overhead, and exhale. We're going to find our Malasana squat, a deep squat. Prayer position with our hands. You can use your elbows on your knees to open up a little bit, creating a little bit more of a hip opener as you see fit. We're twisting left, right, and then looking up and down, bringing some nice movements back into this. So look left, and then look right. And then we'll turn ourselves to the front of our mat again, finding a nice tabletop position. And from there, we'll walk our hands and lift our torso. Hands find our hips. Bring that right arm overhead and bend to the left, finding a nice side body stretch here. Lift back up and then bring that arm down into your hip. Left arm rises up to the sky. We bend to the right. Lift up to neutral. Bring that arm back down to your hips. Open those arms out to the side and then up. And then gently back and down. Moving through front, coming up, and then side with a nice opening. Let's do some twists to the left side. And then to the right side. Always option to bring your hands to your shoulders here for a modified version. Twist left again and center. Twist right. Exhale. Hands find hips, and then we're going to take some small back bends. So very small, gentle back bend to begin. Just pushing our hips forward and sending our head and shoulders back. Option to keep your chin to your chest or extend your head back, whatever feels more comfortable. We're just gradually moving through these back bends. If this feels good today, you're welcome to find the full camel position and extend your back all the way, cupping your heels and then bending back. When you're ready, your hands will find your low back if they're not there already, and then we will slowly curl up. Nice work. Extend your arms out wide to the side. We'll take another twist to the left. Move through center and twist to the right. Hands back on hips. Nice inhale, arms out to the side and up overhead. And then exhale, make your way back down to a tabletop position and then sink into child's pose. Hips pushing back, arms and hands reaching out in front of you, creating a nice length. Breathe gently here. We're going to do the stretch that we did earlier in our practice by moving our hands to the right long edge of the mat. Option to bring the left hand over the right hand. Then move through center and bring those hands to the left long edge of your mat. Optionally, stacking your right hand over your left hand for a nice side stretch. Move into your tabletop position and then come to your butt. So turning yourself around so that we can lay down, setting ourselves up for bridge. So your fingertips should just barely graze your heels. Send your hips up to the air and then back down, rolling through our vertebrae here. Pushing up, hands are outstretched to the side of us and then lowering down. Head stays looking straight up. We don't want to move our necks or heads here. Lift up and then sink back down. From here, we're going to extend our right leg and then our left leg into the sky. Option to keep those knees bent or extend all the way for a nice waterfall position. If you have a block, you can put that under your sacrum and that would feel really lovely. Then we'll take a figure 4, so bringing the right ankle over the left thigh near the knee. Option to bring both legs up higher into the air and clasp your hands behind the back of your left thigh. You can also extend your left leg here if that feels especially good. From here, you're going to just breathe and enjoy this hamstring stretch. And then bring that left foot back down to the mat, right foot joins it. Extend that left leg up into the air. Find your ankle over the top part of your right thigh near the knee. And then option to bring both legs higher into the air as we enjoy this figure 4 stretch on the other side. Option to take ankle rotations here if that would feel good, or even extend that right leg into the air. And when you're ready, plant your right foot, plant your left foot, hug yourself into a nice tight ball. Final movement of our practice today. And then walk your feet out to the tips of your mat. Bring your shoulder blades comfortably underneath you, feeling your weight sinking into the mat, relaxing your muscles, and releasing into our final posture of today's class, Shavasana. You are welcome to stay here for as long as you would like. Otherwise, you can start to bring some small movement into your hands and your feet. Maybe even extending your arms up above your head for a nice big stretch. Releasing those arms back down to either side, and then making your way to whatever side feels more comfortable today, to a nice fetal position. And from here, we'll roll ourselves gently up to find a seated position on our mat, hands resting on our knees, facing down to ground our energy or up to receive energy, returning to the breath that we were practicing earlier on. Nice steady inhales and exhales. Hands find prayer position, and I bow with gratitude. Namaste. Have a wonderful rest of your day.